Welcome to 615 Unplugged, where we explore the people, the businesses, and the stories that make Middle Tennessee what it is today and what it will be tomorrow. Today, I am joined by Matt Bogosian, a real estate agent in Middle Tennessee. In this episode, we talk about his journey into real estate, the power of YouTube marketing, insights into the current market trends. We discuss the influx of people moving to Tennessee, valuable advice for both buyers and sellers, and so much more. So, without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy this conversation with Matt Bogosian. Matt, welcome to the show, brother.
Hey, what's up, man? Thank you so much for having me on.
Awesome, man. Look, I knew as soon as I decided I was going to start doing this podcast, I knew you were one of the people that I had to have just because of how much content I had consumed of yours in the months leading up to the move and everything. But before we get started and everything, I want to give you a little bit of time to introduce yourself to the listeners, those who may not know who you are. Go ahead and take a few minutes to introduce yourself.
Yeah, no, I can make it quick. My name's Matt Bogosian. I'm a real estate agent here in the Middle Tennessee area. And really, I do that. That's my job and I do love it. But I also love the other part of it, which is the marketing side and the video creation and getting a chance to be creative. I do a lot of stuff on YouTube about the local community in the area. And I also, here in the last couple months, have been doing a lot on Instagram about local news stories. So having a lot of fun with that. I've got a family here, wife and two boys. We live down in Thompson Station. And yeah, just loving life, enjoying living here in the Nashville, Tennessee area.
Love it, love it. Well, as I kind of alluded earlier, once my wife and I started thinking about moving to Tennessee, obviously we did what everybody else does, which is immediately go to YouTube and start typing in, some city names and figuring out and all of that. And man, it is impossible to ignore you on YouTube. It is like any city I typed into, there was Matt. And I think I told you this the last time that we kind of met. I ride motorcycles, and then one of the things that I did a few months into the research, I was thinking, okay, let me figure out what are some good back roads that are kind of, in the area and that I'm going to be able to ride in and this and that. So I forget exactly what I typed. I think it may have been something like back roads, Middle Tennessee. And I saw a thumbnail, guy on a motorcycle riding around. I'm like, oh, great, awesome, great. And I click into it, and immediately I hear the voice, and I'm like, wait, I've heard that voice before. And I look at the profile picture, and I'm like, is that the realtor guy? I'm like, and I click on it. I'm like, oh, this guy rides a bike. This is awesome. So
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, this YouTube thing has been so awesome. So like, if you're somebody listening right now and you do any kind of business, maybe like anything, you could have your own business selling certain products, coffee shop, you could own a restaurant, insurance sales, anything like that. Like, I didn't realize back in 2017, I started just like uploading random videos to YouTube. And then I liked YouTube, so I started watching it, and I'm like, whoa, you can search on here, and stuff is popping up. So that gave me the ideas of like, let me try to answer people's questions on YouTube using videos. But then it got even more powerful because I started seeing the results were showing up in Google search results.
mm-hmm.
And that's when I was like, oh my God, I can make these videos and they'll pop up and people will see them even on Google. So that's why going back to like, I really feel like if I was in a different business and selling another product, I could ramp it up on YouTube very quickly and get myself known. So if you're somebody out there that owns a business, I encourage you, whatever, if you're making cupcakes, the best cupcakes in Franklin, Tennessee, and just start making videos about it and put them on YouTube because it works.
Yeah.
It's cool.
And the crazy thing about it, especially that works if you have, let's call it sort of like evergreen content, right? Something that's not so timely or anything. But I've actually, funny enough, even there, I've sometimes found that even being able to go back and see, you know, from like a realtor or whatever, like seeing a few years ago what they were showing and the areas, or at least I'm speaking from the perspective of somebody who like recently moved here. Um, that was a very important key point of what I was looking at when I was watching the videos, how recent they were. And just because they were older didn't mean that I didn't want to watch them, because sometimes they gave me important context of, oh, that's interesting. 4 years ago, they thought they were going to do this or something like that. And now this is the way that it's actually gone. So, yeah, for business, I think it's incredibly important. You just become, you get to spend, people literally invite you into their home, right?
Yeah.
And like they spend time seeing your face and they feel like they know you, and you've never even met these people, right? And so, but
Yeah.
that trust develops, and
It
that
has
I
been that aspect of it has been amazing. When somebody calls me and they say, "Hey, we're moving here and we saw you on YouTube and wanted to meet." And then we'll meet up for a coffee and they're like, "Matt, what's up?" And I'm like, "Hey." And I'm like, "This is so cool," because normally I can be pretty outgoing just meeting somebody for the first time. I'm okay with that. A lot of people are very like cold and standoffish. So the fact that they've seen me on video, they always say, "Oh, you're just like you are in the videos. I can't believe it. Can't believe you're standing right here." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm the same guy." And
So how long have you been doing real estate and Middle Tennessee and all that stuff?
I started in 2017. I was I have this background where I was working managing a Sherwin-Williams paint store out of college. Then I went into selling Pella windows to homes, then to commercial roofing sales, and simultaneously had rental properties
Okay.
myself. So one day I was like, I am so miserable. Like commercial roofing sucks to sell, man. Nobody wants to talk about it. No one wants to pay for it. I'm like, could you meet me for an hour to talk about this amazing single ply roofing product? And people are like, no. So I just started like one day I was like, your back's against the wall, Matt. Like you're miserable, you're depressed. You got to find a career you can love. And I started writing down those things I just told you. And then all of a sudden I was like, man, you're great at customer service. You're great at sales. You have construction experience with residential homes, experience with commercial. You've negotiated big projects. You've looked at building plans, blah, 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 windows, doors. I'm like, why aren't you a real estate agent? And I just dove right in and I told myself, I'm like, and it was 2017. And I was like, you have got to make six figures as quickly as possible so you can ditch this job. And I did it in like 8 months.
Nice.
So
And did you initially from the get-go go into the YouTube stuff, or was that something that you kind of found along the way?
I kind of found it along the way. I started out doing my videos on Facebook. And
Okay.
man, I go back and look at some of them. I look way thinner and like younger. My hair has like less of a receding hairline. But so I was doing them on Facebook and just posting like little market update videos, things about real estate, stuff that you guys probably see all the time now. And then I started seeing guys out in California that were doing it. I started following other realtors and I'm like, "Oh, these guys are putting their stuff on YouTube." I was like, "Interesting." So then I would just upload my stuff on YouTube with no rhyme or reason. Then I started learning about, oh, wait, you can optimize the videos and keywords
Yeah.
and all that stuff. So I started doing all that after. But it was pretty quick. I mean, by like, I think I've got some videos on YouTube from 2018 for sure. Um, I mean, there's over like 450 videos on my channel at this point.
Wow.
I don't
So
even know
you're
all
so
about them.
you're nearing you're nearing, what is it, a decade into the Middle Tennessee kind of like real estate thing. So curious to, from someone who is literally doing it day in and day out, you're seeing what the market is happening. What can you kind of share about what you're seeing of with the market, the influx of people, why you think so many people are flocking to Middle Tennessee, all of that.
Yeah. Well, so, of course, I've met a ton of people moving here from California. I mean, it's the thing. It's what's happened over the years. That's no secret. And the COVID thing really sparked it. I think people have been moving here from California for a long time, but the COVID thing sparked like this giant migration. And I would say mostly people moving from like more liberal states to conservative states. And Tennessee, of course, being more conservative state. So we started getting a lot of people from California. And I talk to them a lot. And like, look, I know people say this. I'm not gonna get political. I'm just telling you what I've been told. They felt like they were losing their freedom there, and they felt like their rights were being taken away from them. And man, I'll tell you, I know people say don't vote like you did in California when you come here and everything. These people that I'm meeting are more conservative and more right than anyone I've ever met in my life. I mean, I'm not kidding you, like they're wearing shirts that say "Don't tread on me." They're they're like talking about how much they don't like Newsom and all this. Like, I'm serious, super
So
conservative.
it's almost like it's almost like they hit like the final straw in the last few years. It's like they were
Dude.
already not happy, but there was something that was still keeping them there, and it was a little like too much, like, and it was like something gave, and
Yep.
yeah, that makes
For
sense.
sure, for sure. And I mean, Middle Tennessee has a lot going for it. Nashville itself, the downtown was kind of like a nice, sexy draw for people, right? You got the honky tonks and Broadway. So people like that. We've got the sports teams here, which is really cool, like the Titans and the Nashville Sounds and Nashville Soccer Club, the Predators. So like Nashville has a lot going for it. And also, I mean, as much as it's hard to believe now, but like for the most part, houses are more affordable than a lot of those areas where people are moving from. So that
What are
did
you
it.
seeing currently? What are you seeing currently in the market? Because obviously, depending on what you search, you can find news that support, whether the market is going to boom, whether the market is going to collapse, whether the market is in an upswing or a downswing. Personally, what are you seeing right now in terms of, at least in the local market, Middle Tennessee?
I'm seeing like a flat market. It's a little bit complicated, but for the most part, I mean, I've looked at values. For the most part, we are pretty much flat as far as home value appreciation compared to this time last year. But in saying that, I'm seeing a lot of people still try to ask for more when they list their homes and have to do price drops to get back down to earth. So,
Hmm.
um, but overall, there certainly has not been a crash. So if you were to like look and someone said Nashville's giant real estate crash, I don't feel like there's been a crash. I've looked at the numbers and I keep trying to, like, aside from Nashville condos, like Nashville proper condos in Nashville are not doing well.
Okay.
Um, those have probably been the worst performing real estate that I know of in this Middle Tennessee area. But besides that, it's just really flat. I'm seeing a lot of buyers on the sidelines that want to do something, but they're worried. I'm seeing a lot of sellers not wanting to sell because their interest rates are low and also saying, where do I move to? It's like we're in a what's the term? Is it a
It's like a
stalemate?
wait and see. It's kind of like a wait and see. Everybody's waiting to see what's going to happen.
Yes, let's wait and see. And that's one thing that like COVID really opened my eyes to, not only with what happened from COVID and all the masks and all that, but like with real estate. It was fascinating. Once the population, society started deciding it was time to move, time to buy, everybody like fell into line and
Hmm.
just followed along and everybody bought. Everybody bought. And now we've gone into the opposite. And and people are just sitting on the sidelines. And part of me, and I won't ever give this advice, like buy whenever the heck you want to buy. I'm never going to tell someone it's the right time to buy. Like, whatever. Buy when you're ready. I will say, personally, I'm looking at buying some real estate for myself right now because I think that it's pretty dang good. I mean,
Right,
I think I could go in there and offer, I'm just making up something here, 30 grand less and maybe get them to cover closing costs
right.
on a nice house.
Yeah,
So
because you don't have what's clearly gone away is the multi-bid kind of like mayhem that was happening during and right after COVID, right? Where it's
yeah,
like sight unseen, asking overpriced cash, like it's just like, why? What is happening?
yeah, yeah. Like people could go shop for a week and look at 10 houses and house number one will still be there at the end of the week. And you can be like, I like that one. And you could make an offer.
Yeah.
So
You mentioned a little bit of the some of the clients that you have that they or listings that you see that they're coming up, they're still listing a little bit too high, and then end up having to cut, which correct me if I'm wrong, but I've always kind of looked at price cuts as it's almost like a little bit of like chum in the water. Like you're showing that you're bleeding out. You're like it didn't move. You have to, and so in a situation where somebody right now that's listening, they want to move. Let's say, let's assume not that they have to, but that they're heavily incentivized. They've got to move either because it's work or whatever, right? What would be your piece of advice to them on how to navigate as a seller on things? Because I feel like we've kind of covered like on the buyer side, like we know that we can get away with offering a little bit less, but on the seller side, how would you navigate that?
yeah, I right now, I think it's important to, of course, we traditionally would look at comps that sold recently. Of course, that's a common practice, but I would really stress that they also turn around and look at active sales right now and almost turn into the buyer for a minute and say, okay, we want to list our house for 1.2 million. Let's look and see what can we get for 1.2 million and how's that market doing in my area. And I think they'll quickly see, hey, this guy was listed for 1.2. He's now dropped it to 1.175. This one's been on the market 80 days. They've dropped the price $10,000 three times. And and then I think I would look at all of that and say, okay, now you see what's happening. And I would recommend they price the home very sharply compared to comps. Like just don't mess around. This is not the market right now to just reach for the stars and try to get the most hope someone's going to come along and be a dummy and overpay because that's just not happening.
Right. So over the past few years, obviously the area has grown incredibly. How do you think, how are you seeing how the area is adapting? Do you think we're keeping or losing what makes this area special? Like how, do you feel like we're adapting okay? What do you think?
Yeah, it's getting there's some areas like you hear a lot about Spring Hill down that way where we're hearing a lot of Spring Hill's done some things that have made people upset as far as development. A lot of people right now are upset about hearing about multi-use developments, like where they're putting in like townhomes, condos, houses, and stores. They're doing that everywhere, it seems like, putting stuff real close together. So we're starting to see traffic in areas where we didn't see in the past. You go to somewhere like, and it's always been busy, but like downtown Franklin. You used to be able to just go into downtown Franklin almost any day in the morning and you could kind of just get right in and out of there. And, now there's days, a lot of days where it's backed up, traffic going in and there's no parking and there's people just walking everywhere. So, I mean, that does concern me, of course. And I know it concerns the viewers, people that are from here. It's definitely a thing, but I don't know. What do you do? It's a nice area and people want to move here. It's like, how do you
Yeah.
fix that? Like not have a nice area so that no one wants to come? Like what, you know? Like
Yeah.
so it's a tough one. We are I would say there's some areas where traffic and roads needs to get fixed, and that would help with a lot of the problems. I mean, I can think of like 65 South where it hits right after Highway 840 going into Spring Hill is one of them. They really need to open that up. I think they open that up to 4 lanes, something like that. That helps stop a lot of people complaining.
Hmm.
If they widen Main Streets, another example, both in Nolansville and Spring Hill, that needs to get done. And Nashville for me, I mean, downtown Nashville is a mess no matter what now. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know about you. Do you go to downtown at all?
Well, we recently went because we had some family visiting, and so obviously we needed to take them to like Broadway and like just show them a little bit around. But it's like quick in, out, and and granted, I'm 2 months into this journey myself in living here, so but I know that that proper Nashville is it's a little crazy to get in and out unless you're living there,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, there's been a lot of people that have come here and they're like, this traffic is nothing. You should see where I've come from, which
Yeah.
I know that the locals would probably say, well, then go back. I mean, we're getting a little bit of attitude from locals here, I've noticed lately, especially online, which I
Yeah,
get.
those Facebook groups are getting.
Dude, I'll tell you what. It's kind of look, you know, if you believe in, I don't know what I'm like, the Constitution, if you believe in America, then and our rights, people have a right to move wherever they want.
Yeah.
You can't dictate and say where someone can or can't move. That is like totally going against what America's about, especially from state to state. Um, that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
And
And
so,
I think where the issue comes is especially with people who are locals who've been here their entire life and they're saying, "Hey, man, like my kids are not going to be able to afford the type of," and that's a legitimate, there's no easy answer for that. That is like, yeah, you're right, but like it is a reality. And how do you solve that? I don't know, right? I don't know if it can be solved, um, but yeah, it's incredible to see how things are growing and everything. And I hope I think what you're talking about in terms of the expanding some of these streets, expanding some of these highways, I feel like that because that is a main common point that a lot of people make, right? The traffic is what's kind of like at times exacerbating that feeling of like, okay, this is getting out of hand.
yeah.
If it wasn't for the traffic, maybe people wouldn't feel that much. Maybe there are other things that kind of make you feel that way, but the traffic is definitely the one up there.
Yes.
Um,
And it's like a few key places. You could probably find like a dozen places. I'll just say, like around you fix those places around Nashville, and suddenly people aren't complaining as much. I'm sure there's probably little problem areas though throughout the entire Middle Tennessee area. I mean, I get it. So,
Hello? All right. Um, are you there?
yep. Can you hear me?
There you go. You froze out for a little bit and then you came
Okay.
back.
Sorry about
So
that.
all good. No worries. Um, so you kind of mentioned a little bit of your background, all of that stuff, and how you eventually landed with this. But you also mentioned a little bit of like your love for the marketing side of things and the creative side. Um, so curious to hear, would you consider yourself more of a business person first, creative type second, or more of like a creative type person that just happens to be in real estate? How would you categorize yourself?
Man, that is so tough. Like growing up, like, look, growing up, I was not into like art class. I was not into theater. I wasn't into anything like that at all. And I always said, hey, I just want to work on Wall Street. I want to be in business.
Okay.
And I do love that, but as I've gotten into real estate and started to explore my creative side, that's really what drives me. That's really what I feel passionate about is that the problem solving. I love that. Like, okay, how can we figure out how to get this message out or to do this or that? And of course with video, it's so challenging. So I think it's really satisfying for me when I can figure something out and put together a decent video. So I don't know to answer that question. That's
Okay.
tough. I'm kind of mixed in with both. I really enjoy both, but I would say I probably enjoy the creative side more.
Okay. Love it. So, what are some of those things that you think kind of like influenced the direction that you went in, kind of whether it was people, moments, experiences, books. Looking back, what are some of those things that you say, man, this really shaped and this really kind of like changed the course of what Matt was going to become?
Yeah. I think deep down that I'm the kind of person that, I've always had these jobs where I didn't feel like they were very important or um and like the commercial roofing sales is a great example. It's just very eh, you just don't get much recognition for that. It's not really fun to talk about. No one cares about it. And it was just and like I think I've learned about myself that like, yeah, I mean, just like everybody, I want to make money and everything, but more importantly, I think that I thrive on like knowing that people think I did a good job, that I helped someone and they're like, "Thank you, Matt. We love this house. We really appreciate it." The like the that I don't know if I want to call it recognition, but like it's like mattering a little bit and where people actually tell you. And I feel like in real estate, people care so much about their houses. And it's such an emotional process and whether they're selling their home that they grew up in, so that's emotional for them, or they're buying a new home and moving here from out of state, so that's emotional. And I think me being a part of it, it's like so gratifying to see it all unfold and help them and they get the house and it's like, good job, Matt. Like, I love that. I really do. I joke.
Was there a time specifically when that clicked for you that this thing was like giving you like a sense of accomplishment?
I think when I started realizing just that the money didn't matter and I didn't really care about the money is when I knew I had found the right place where I just was like, I don't care. I'm just going to do the right thing. If I help people and do the right thing and work hard, the money will come. That doesn't matter. I'm just having too much fun with the process and the day to day stuff. That's when and I mean, that was pretty early on. At first I was a little worried about the money because I had to make money to, quit my other job and move on. But yeah, now, I mean, I've turned down customers this year because I was like, this person's just not a right fit for me. And whether I didn't feel like their home was sellable or I didn't feel like I was going to click with them for whatever reason, I've just got to a point where I want to enjoy who I'm working with. Don't care about the money. That'll come, whatever.
Yeah.
It's it's not going to make me happy. It's the helping people part of it. So,
Are there any, looking back, obviously, success is never linear, right? There's ups, downs, all of that stuff. Thinking back in your almost what 10 years now in this line of work in this market, um, what are some happy failures, some of your favorite failures that you've experienced? And by that I mean things that you expected to go in a certain way, a certain deal, a certain project, a certain thing, and it didn't work out, it ended up failing, and in the moment it felt like crap, this sucks, but it actually ended up setting you up for a bigger, better thing later on.
yeah.
Anything like that that comes to mind?
I mean, the video part of it, oh my gosh. The pain that I've gone through over the years. Look, I have traveled, an hour away to shoot a video in the 90-degree heat all day, just running around to different places to come back, load everything up, and find out that my audio was completely trashed and unusable. And that type of thing, that's one example of a failure, has really taught me patience, but it's
Okay.
also like taught me, like, hey, Matt, you need to do it right. It needs to be the right way. Don't sit here and dwell on this. Trash that stuff. Go back, shoot it again, get the audio right, and come back. It's not a big deal. Like, it hurt, but it's taught me to have that like patience. Like, it's got to be right. And I'm talking totally unusable audio, like
Yeah.
tin can, way peaked, like you would never put it out. So there's that. And then there's been times where I've shot videos where I'm like, man, this is such a good video. I spent all this time. I'm like editing up little poppy things and noises. I mean, I was like, this is going to be it. And then you load it up on YouTube, and the first
Crickets.
thing I get is a thumbs down, and I lose a subscriber.
Oh God.
And you're just like, man, okay. It humbles you real quick, that kind of stuff, right?
So that kind of patience development. What's I totally feel your pain. I've been there of taking some time to record something and then just, you realize the audio is not right or whatever and you go like, "Oh God." Um Obviously being 10 years in the market, what's one thing if Matt from today went back and met Matt 10 years ago, starting in this market, all of that stuff. What piece of advice do you think you would give yourself, knowing what you know today?
I think I would tell myself, I mean, a couple of things. I would say, be yourself. Don't worry about trying to be like some other real estate agents are, or some other people. If like you wear jeans and a t-shirt, that's the classic example is clothes. Wear your jeans and your t-shirt. Like, be yourself. And there's more to that than just dressing. Like, if you're yourself, then you're going to come across to people as being honest and trustworthy and authentic. Those are like super important words, and how I want people to describe me, for sure. So like I would tell myself to do that, to be myself. And then I would also tell myself to niche down, like focus on a small area, which I kind of did at some point. I figured that out with Thompson Station. But if starting out, I see some agents or whatever business, like I want to be the king of Nashville. Well, that's really hard. There are so many little pockets in Nashville and Middle Tennessee where there are agents that know those little pockets up and down and have been working there for years. But if you live in like this small neighborhood in Spring Hill and you look around, there's probably not an agent in there that's like proclaiming themselves king of this neighborhood in Spring Hill. So like
Right.
I would start as small, niche down as small as possible and just be the expert of your neighborhood, and then branch out to the neighborhood across the street, the next neighborhood, Spring Hill. Next thing you know, you're the king of Spring Hill, for example.
Or even, I've always used this example of the In-N-Out burger kind of thing, right? Like it's a very, very, very simplified menu. But you can go off menu. You can order whatever you want, but what's advertised is that very simple menu that covers 95% of the people. So whether it's even it could just be on the marketing. Like this is how you promote yourself. This is what you attract. Doesn't mean that you don't take a client that's, 20, 30 minutes outside or whatever,
Right.
but this is how you're marketing. This is how you're positioning yourself, right? And
Yeah.
so,
I mean, if you niche down, think about how you and I like buy stuff. If I'm getting, I don't even know what I'm trying to buy, like a something, having work done in my backyard, like a outdoor fire pit. Like, I don't want hey, I'm a general handyman, and sometimes I mess around with doing fire pits. I've done one before. It's been a while. I want like specialty fire pit guy.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Matt, this is all I do. I build fire pits
Yeah.
day in and day out. I have 50 designs. I just built this last. That's the guy.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want.
If you're going in for eye surgery or knee replacement surgery, or like, you want the guy that has spent 30 years working on knees only. No.
Yeah. And trust me, that fire pit guy will come here and I'll be like, hey, can you do like around mailboxes and stuff? Like you were saying, he can work outside of his specialty
Yeah.
and people are going to ask him. So, yeah, that's a big one. Niche down, become a specialist.
Like it. Like it. Any quotes, verses, or anything that you think of often that you try to live by?
Oh my gosh. Um, oh my gosh, I have the coin. I can't remember who did it. It's the saying or the quote is the obstacle is the way. Have you ever heard?
Okay. Yeah. That's Ryan Holiday.
I mean, to me, that right there is
That book is incredible, by the
yeah,
way. That
yeah.
book, all of his stuff. I don't know if you've ever read. He also has a book called The Daily Dad. Have you
Mm-mm.
ever seen that one?
No,
Oh, if you loved The Obstacle is the Way, you have to check out The Daily Dad. Wait, am I getting it correctly? Because hold on, give me a second. The Obstacle is the Way. Yeah, The Obstacle is the Way is by Ryan Holiday, right?
I think.
This
I mean,
Daily Stoic guy and the whole
yes,
thing,
yes,
right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So then he came out with Daily Stoic book, and then
Okay,
he did another version which is Daily Dad, the Daily Dad.
okay,
If you like Ryan Holiday, you have to check out the Daily Dad.
okay. I'll
You
check
would
that.
love that book.
I mean,
Amazing.
that to me, the obstacle is the way. That is like that's failure. That's how you get to the other side and how you learn and how you do better.
Yeah.
Go at the obstacle.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Any other books or anything that you feel like have impacted your life in a great way?
I don't know, not really. I mean, I do a lot of I listen to a lot of different podcasts, and of course, I'm on YouTube right now. I'm actually in the middle of taking a course. I don't know if I'm going to pronounce his name right. Tom Bilu Bilu Bilu.
Yes, Tom Bilyeu. Yeah, I get it wrong all the time. Yeah,
He founded the nutrition company and sold it.
yeah.
He has this course that I pay like $50 a month for, and man, is he amazing. He teaches some really good stuff. Just good like motivation, good stuff like talking about failures and developing good habits, all that kind of stuff. So he's been great. I encourage people, if you haven't listened to him, just search him and find his stuff. It's good.
Like it, like it. Um, Transitioning over to what I'm doing on every episode is the 615 rapid fire. So I'm just gonna throw out a couple quick questions. First thing that comes to mind, don't overthink it. All right.
All right, I'll try.
You get a billboard on I-65 for 1 year. What does it say?
Um, oh man, that's a tough one. See, I'm overthinking it. I'm thinking like a realtor.
You're thinking your face on it with like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
realtors love their faces in their
I
business
know.
cards, you know?
Oh,
So
aren't we annoying like that? You know, like man, we've had enough of your face. You know, the first thing that comes to mind is to put something like with my kids on there, like
okay.
funny. It really does, like something funny with my kids' pictures. So
Like
they're
embarrass them for an entire year.
yeah. So it's
That's
up
like
there
the
for like
ultimate dad move.
yeah, yeah, like something like that to like not embarrass them, but where they would like think it's cool but slightly embarrassing. I don't know what I
Okay.
would put, but like something. I think that would be hilarious.
Okay. Love it. What describe your idea of the perfect day in Middle Tennessee?
Okay, for me,
Yeah.
for me. Everyone's going to crack up. I think waking up and heading to downtown Franklin. I think it's one of the most beautiful places here in the Middle Tennessee area, and grabbing a coffee, maybe at somewhere like Onyx Coffee, and this is like real early, so it's not crowded there. They just open up, streets are quiet. Then I think jumping in my car, or of course motorcycle would be great, but you can't do that with a coffee.
Uh-huh.
and cruising over to the Natchez Trace Parkway and going for a ride up the Natchez Trace. Just chill, stopping every now and then, still sipping the coffee. That's so important to me to have my coffee, and getting off in Nashville, and maybe heading somewhere into Nashville for lunch, somewhere nice, and then finishing off the day with maybe like going to see a Nashville soccer club match.
Okay.
Like, I think that would really, I think to me, like, that would be really cool because you get to be like downtown Franklin, you get to see real Tennessee with the Natchez Trace Parkway, but then you're back into the city, back around crowds, feeling that real like Nashville energy at one of the soccer games.
Okay. You
And then
mentioned,
to
yeah.
bed by like 6.
You mentioned Onyx Coffee, so that kind of segues perfectly. What's your favorite food spot and dish?
Oh, wow. What is my favorite food spot? I've got so many different spots. Definitely like, I'm definitely like a coffee person. I'm pretty caught up on 1819 coffee right now, which is great. Or the Well Coffee House is really another Nashville staple. They've got them all around Nashville. For food, we are so simple when it comes to food at my house. And we're not doing a lot of like going out to high end restaurants here these really last 5 years. We really love just going to like a local, like, um, Mexican joint, like Don Oturo's, or just one that like I think most Californians would be like cringing if they saw me eating. But I just enjoy like, we have a bunch of them all over Middle Tennessee. We I just enjoy like not having to dress up. I enjoy, my family likes it. We love just going and hanging out. I think they have the Dos Equis, the big giant Dos Equis you can get.
Yeah.
Really enjoy that. So when it comes to food, I'm just so simple like that. I could name a bunch of like high end places, but the reality is I don't go to those. You're probably going to catch me at more of like these local Mexican restaurants, Tito's. I like just
Okay.
places like that. So,
Love it. And then, last but not least, other Middle Tennessee people, businesses, or stories that you think I should feature on the show.
ooh, that is a good one. Let me think about that. Other businesses. Yeah, yeah. I brought them up to you. I think you should mention and have on the owner from Twine Graphics
Yeah. Okay.
in Franklin. Just super cool. There's two owners, they're partners. I know one of them, and him and his wife, and they're super involved. Really like cool shop. They do a lot here in the local community. They're working with like a lot of the schools and businesses, and also nationally they've got some big names too that they do
Okay.
stuff for. Cool shop in Franklin. Then they've got a retail store on the square. Just nice folks. That's who I would think you should have on.
Awesome.
So,
Sounds good. So before we sign off and you can share with people where they can connect with you and all of that stuff, um, anything that you're working on right now, anything that you've got coming up that you want to share with people, or any parting thoughts with the listeners, anything that you want to, that maybe we didn't go over, that you want to go over, anything.
yeah, I think follow me. I'd encourage you guys to go over to my Instagram, which is just my name, Matt Bogosian. And I'm posting a lot of 60-second reels about big stories and developments happening in Nashville right now. And I'm hitting a lot of stories like In-N-Out Burger. This morning, I posted one about a building in big office building in downtown Nashville that sold for a massive loss, which is pretty interesting. And new developments. I think for me, it has been a really cool way to keep up to speed with what's going on in Nashville and learn more. But I'm finding I just crossed 10,000 followers actually last night, and I'm finding people are really enjoying the content and they're finding it valuable and useful. So I think if someone's on here watching this podcast, I think that content would be pretty interesting to them. So
Cool. Sounds good. Awesome, brother. So you kind of shared right now on Instagram, but any other channels or anything else that where people can connect with you? What's the best way? You share your email, anything?
yeah, just I mean, honestly, find me on Instagram and message me there. I'm on YouTube. My phone number and email are everywhere. You can Google me. I've got a Google business profile. I mean, seriously, I'm everywhere. So
I can attest to that. You are everywhere, brother. You are.
I'm on Facebook. So like, it's cool. You can find me on TikTok. I mean, all of it. So
Are you doing cool dances or what
yeah,
are you doing?
yeah. No, you know what? I'm doing the same content that I do on Instagram on TikTok.
Okay.
And
Nice.
yeah, and that's been fun. TikTok is interesting. So
Cool. Awesome, brother. Matt, thank you so much, brother. This was great.
yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. This has been awesome.
Awesome, brother. Thank you. Hey there. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with someone you think would find it interesting. Until next time, thank you for tuning in.